Okay, this is People of the State of Michigan versus Herschel Roper, docket number 17-746FH. And I know there's another matter set for today too, but starting with the probation violation. I already told you, Mr. Roper, last time we talked about the charges and maximum penalty up to 2 years in prison, your right to a lawyer, your right to a contested hearing, Mr. Sturdivant's representing you, and Mr. Sturdivant, how are we proceeding on this one?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mr. Roper will be admitting to the violations today and waiving his right to have a hearing.
Okay, is that right, Mr. Roper?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Once in a while I forget, and I think life is normal.
Yeah.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Roper, as I told you before, you have the right to a contested hearing. If you plead guilty, you won't have a contested hearing, and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with it. That includes the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
I do, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Anyone used any threats or other kinds of pressure?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the first allegation here is that you had some police contact and you didn't tell your agent about it right away?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the requirement is within 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Did you do that?
I did not.
Okay. And that was back in January, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then did you possess cocaine on or about January 25?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. And have you paid your $500 a month since October of last year?
I have been behind. I just paid $1,000 on Monday.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you haven't been making it every month?
I have not been.
All right.
No.
And have you been paying every month towards your court assessments?
I have not.
Okay. The court finds the plea is understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted. Mr. Roper is found guilty of probation violation. Should we go to sentencing, or is there going to be something happening on the other charge?
Your Honor, I would ask that sentencing be set for the sentencing on his new case, which he will be pleaded guilty to.
I figured that out.
Thank you.
So was that what you were thinking, Agent Teetsworth?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I guess he's going to plead guilty to the new charge. So we were just talking about doing the sentencing for the probation violation the same time as the sentencing for the new charge.
That's agreeable, although I think that the recommendation that I had was rather straightforward. So, I mean, it could be accomplished today, but either way, I guess.
Your option, Mr. Sturdivant.
I would ask that they be set at the same time.
Okay, he'd
Thank you.
prefer they be set at the same time, so we'll get back to that. I'll give you a date in just a moment, okay?
Thank you.
So then this is the new one, this, and I don't have an information. Hold on. Thank you. I need an information, it's being printed right now, just give us a minute.
In the meantime, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Pre-trial sheet, advice of rights.
Thank you. people of the state of Michigan versus Herschel Roper, docket number 20-601FH. And Mr. Roper, on this plea sheet, you wrote in an address, that's your current address, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and are you working right now?
Yes.
Where at?
Staples Office Supplies.
Oh, okay. And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Roper, you have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Sturdivant. Judging from the pretrial form, this is a plea to count 2. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Will you waive reading of count 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Allen, would you read count 2, please?
In the people of the state of Michigan versus Herschel Roper, file 20-601-FH, State of Michigan, County of Ingham. In the name of the people of the state of Michigan, the prosecuting attorney for this county appears before the court and informs the court that on or about January 25th, 2020, at Holt Road, Alladin Township, Ingham County, the defendant did in count 2 knowingly or intentionally possess 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, commonly known as ecstasy or MDMA, contrary to Michigan law. This is a felony punishable by up to 10 years and or $15,000. Unless sentenced to more than 1 year in prison, the court shall impose license sanctions pursuant to Michigan law and was committed against the peace and dignity of the state of Michigan.
Mr. Roper, you're being charged here with possession of ecstasy. That is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Have you had enough time to talk about the charge with your lawyer?
I have, Your Honor.
And do you understand the charge against
I do.
you? Do you have any questions about what we're doing today?
No.
And how do you want to plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
If your plea of guilty is accepted by this court, it means you won't have a trial of any kind, and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with a trial. Did you sign this advice of rights form?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And did you go over the rights on the form?
Yes, I did.
So you understand that the form lists the rights that go along with a trial, and those are the rights you give up when you plead guilty?
Yes.
And that's what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, if I accept your plea, it means you can't come back later on and try to say that the plea was the result of some promise or threat that no one told me about today. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
It also means you cannot come back later on and try to say that it really wasn't your own choice to plead guilty today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is there a plea agreement, Ms. Allen?
There is, Your Honor. Upon successful plea and sentence to count 2 on the felony information, the people agree to dismiss count 1. We also have no objection to the defendant receiving inpatient treatment in lieu of a jail sentence on this case.
And Mr. Sturdivant, is that a full and complete statement?
That is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Roper, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
Do you agree with it?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, right now, I actually don't know what your sentence will be, and I haven't made any deals with anyone about your sentence. Are you clear on that?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything else that hasn't been said here right now in court in order to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone used any threats?
No.
Is it your own choice to do this?
Yes.
And are you doing it because you believe you are in fact guilty of this offense in count 2?
Yes.
Okay, then tell me please what you did on or about January 25 of this year.
I was at a park and ride after working. I had some drinks in the back of my van. A female friend of mine, and she left. And all of a sudden I looked up and I saw there was a trooper that was in front of my van, and I got out and met him. And he ended up getting my license, and I had a traffic violation out in Hillsdale County. He patted me down and found some cocaine on me, and then he called in some people and searched the van. I had just moved out of my girlfriend's house, and in all honesty, a lot of that old stuff was from my past. You know, it was just all in a bunch of bags. Like my
Okay.
van was destroyed because I didn't even remember I had so much of that stuff back there.
So some of it was ecstasy that was in there?
Yes, yes. Your
And, I mean, I know you're saying it was old stuff, but you had at one point put it there, correct?
That's correct.
So you were in knowing possession of it,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right? And you knew it was ecstasy,
Yes.
okay? and you possessed the stop, it's probably the location of the stop. It was in Allerton Township in Ingham County, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302, Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sturtevant?
It has, Your Honor, thank you.
Are you aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than those already placed on the record, Ms. Allen?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sturtevant?
None, Your Honor.
The court finds the plea is understandingly and voluntarily made without undue influence, threats, or promises of leniency. It is an accurate plea. It's supported by the testimony. The plea is accepted. Sentencing date is November 30 at 3 o'clock. Does that work for you, Mr. Sturtevant?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay.
Judge, if I could just impose one thing, can I have the Ingham County file number that you're working on right now? Current.
Of course. It is 20-601.
Thank you.
FH.
Thank you.
And, 315, not 3. So November 30th at 3:15 for sentencing. And, Mr. Roper, you just need to make some contact with the probation department. I'm not sure if they contact you, but if they don't, within a day or two, of course, you're already on anyway, so you know what to do. So they have to interview you for a new report that I'll use for this sentencing.
Okay.
And your bond is continued and you're all set. Yes, you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.